Hello and welcome to another edition of Leaders Being Heard. Today I'm Marius. I'm always Marius. I don't know why I'm saying I'm Marius. Today I'm with you. We are Marius. I'm Marius, and also is today with me Christina. We are in a smaller team today. Welcome, Christina.
Well, hello. Today is a difficult day.
It's a difficult day. It's raining and it's cold. Yesterday was 8th of March for those who are watching today. So happy birthday. I don't know. You are
Happy Women's Day. Yeah.
Women's Day, International Women's Day.
Yes.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to all of the women out there, right? Watching us and not just watching us, right? All right. So with that being said, let's see what we have today. So today we are discussing about, is it the business analyst, a technical person? Is it a techie? So this is an interesting topic that we had a conversation a few days ago with someone about this, and we thought might be an interesting topic to debate, to see, does the business analyst needs to be a technology oriented person or not? So why do we need to talk about how techie is the BA first of all, Christina?
Yeah, I have to admit, I hear a lot of persons, especially the people that want to enter the profession.
Mm-hmm.
So let's call them the junior ones. That they are most concerned about becoming a BA. And their success in becoming a BA is that they are not a technical person. So people that have not studied at the university or have not been a, I don't know, software developer until now, they say, oh, I can't be a business analyst because I'm not a technical person. I don't own such processes. And fact is that in my experience, I have very good friends and colleagues, BAs, who come from a non-technical background, and they learn the job and they do a wonderful job. And of course, I also have colleagues who come from the technical area. I studied at the university also technical studies, but this does not make us better BAs, because we have also some drawbacks. And especially the one that I see most is that technical people coming from a technical background, they tend to enter the design, the solutioning so fast because they know, and they forget to be careful with, why do we need them? Who needs it?
So
expensive.
before we give the verdict, right? If the BA needs to be a technical person, let's look at what exactly do we mean by technical person, right? So let's imagine, right? We had this conversation, right, about your team. You are part of the team and you are constructing a mobile application, right? A mobile application that is given to end users, right? So you are the business analyst in a team that has this task to build a mobile app that, I don't know, it's what it does. Let's take an example, because
Google Maps. I like this
Google Maps. Okay, so we are building the Google Maps, right? So
yes.
Now as a business analyst, do you need to, the first question that comes to my mind, right, is like, do you need to know mobile development, like technologies that are behind mobile development, for example? Are they helpful?
Definitely, I don't need to know technologies. Okay, I might have heard some names, but definitely I don't need them. I think I would need more to know, if we take Google Maps, I would need to know user experience. I would need to know maybe a little bit of geography, maybe. because I need to understand layers, I need to understand perspectives and stuff. Layers from a mapping, geographical mapping perspective, you know. And I need to put myself very often in the end user's shoes. So this is what I would need most when designing, creating Google Maps. Now, if the app runs on iOS and Android, okay, it has to run. What's behind it, I really don't know. I have learned that there are different languages, okay? But the expectation is that they need to work the same. So,
so you as a BA, as a business analyst, should be more in contact with the user. This is what I'm hearing, right? With the needs of the user. And what I'm also hearing is, like you mentioned, user experience, right? So this is, let's put it like this. I'm not certain we cannot call user experience something techie, right? When we mean techie, we mean like more into area like a developer, right? Technologies, development technologies, and so on, right? This is what we meant by that. So having this, probably this knowledge doesn't help you. How about, for example, when does it, for example, user experience include like limitations that you have on the certain devices? Like, for example, on the mobile, you have different aspects to consider rather than, for example, the size of the screen, right? It's smaller than on the desktop, right? On a regular page. So is it something that as a BA you need to take into consideration, right? This is something that you also
So I would say, call it like that. About user experience, as a BA, I see that it's good that you learn about what is a good experience, how do you define a good user experience. So here I wouldn't rely only on my feeling or on my abilities that I come before building this up. But it's something that I need to learn. So user experience, creating this, it's something that I would suggest that it's good to learn. Also, the facts that come with approaching, okay, on Android, the phone with Android has a certain user experience. On iOS, users have a different user experience. This is something, again, that if I need to build this app for the mobile, I would need to understand the differences. But now the question is, how technical is this information? I mean, this is something that you see. This is something that you may, I don't know, learn, but I wouldn't consider this necessarily being a technical thing, because I don't put pieces together to create something. I just observe a behavior. I just observe some patterns, and then I can discuss in those contexts.
Got it. And what would be an outcome, right, out of let's take this example, right? As a business analyst, what would be the outcome that you see for the team, right, that you would produce as a business analyst?
So definitely what goes to the team, to the development team, are the requirements. And not only the requirements, but also the general context and framework that we work in. Like, for example, even for a mobile app, people need to know for whom they build the app, for what are the constraints, how often that would be used, because you cannot say all the requirements. You cannot state all the requirements. You're not God. You cannot know it all. And when you work in a team, development team, come with questions and ideas that to improve what you wanted to ask in the first place. But definitely the position of the BA needs to remain in the requirements area. I mean, we need this. How do we do it? That's something that lands on the team, and the BA is part of the team. So I would say that the BA does not have to come with the solution. The BA has to come with the ask. We need to do this, and then how do we build it? Like
Got
that,
it.
the other way.
So it's more like I'm not here to give you the answers, right? In a way, it's like I'm here to ask the questions in a way, or to say what the customer wants, and then together we come up with the solution. I like it.
Yes. Mm-hmm,
Yes.
mm-hmm.
So this, go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to say, I think this is what saves the BA of not needing to be technical, because you are responsible to know what is needed.
Mm-hmm.
How it will be done is not in the responsibility of the BA, and this is like a life vest
Mm-hmm.
when
Got
you
it.
don't have enough technical information. Okay.
So now it's very interesting. What comes to my mind is like, but how come still they are out there? There is no clear, how should I say it? A clear, not definition, but a clear vision on what the BA should do, right? Because you still, there are still people or BAs out there that are struggling with learning. For example, well, I'm doing a mobile application, I need to learn mobile development or whatever is there to learn, right? So why do you think it's this need? Why do you think like people need to learn also as a BA, I'm saying, in a way, to learn the technology, right? What is the driver for this?
The first thing it comes to my mind is that the need to speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it is a communication matter. How do I express my requirements or the requirements I have, so that the team understand, and then the team to create the solution or to discuss multiple solutions, which one do we choose? And this is a communication process where if you don't speak the same language, then it might be difficult. Here I come with an asterisk. It's still, even if you're not a technical person, the development team should cover the bridge. I mean, to express ideas in a less technical manner. So there are ways to solve this if you're not technical enough, or if you haven't found the common language yet. Another aspect might be when the BA wants to dive into the solutioning part.
Okay.
They maybe they don't make that clear separation between requirement and design. So when you feel that it is your job to define the solution, to make the design, then I think you fall into this trap that I need to know how it is. What I'm saying is not bad to know. It's not bad to know coding. It's not bad to know how to read the data from the database. On the contrary, but what do we do when we don't have? Are we in a drawback or not? What I'm trying to say, there are ways to save this situation.
So it's what, to summarize a bit, basically there are two things here, right, to consider. One of them is like the need to actually speak the language of the team, right, of the development team, and then you feel responsible of filling the gap there, and you feel like the pressure is on you to actually speak the same language. And here one might say that both of the parties, right, in a way, are responsible for bridging that gap. And the second is also, it's what I heard is responsibility of the level of solution, right? You as a BA feel responsible of providing the solution, which this is an interesting question, right? Is it like something that, because this is something that also in the team might be that the developer wants to provide the solution, or the architect, or so it's more roles out there, right? Also, you have a designer, right? Because we are talking about the user experience. So as an analyst, you you have multiple hats, but in a way there is also a clear separation, right? Development, architect, designer or user experience designer, let's put it like this. So in a way, what I'm hearing is also like stick with the requirements in a way, right? And just don't forget those. These are the most important. The rest, there is someone else in the team that can fill those gaps. This is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, yeah. This is the most important, because it's easy to dive into solutions that start to look nice, but you forget to ask, do I really need that? Do I really need that now? Can we do it with the resources that we have available? So yeah, it's this art of staying in between.
So in a way, what I'm the question is it like the BA more close to the customer, right? In a way, right? This is the role. So if your customer is the accounting, perhaps you should know better accounting, right?
Definitely, it helps. Yeah. So indeed, if you're in a area where your end user is a business person, yeah, like you said, accounting, I think instead of learning how to code, you'd better learn accounting principles in accounting, because you understand better, you speak the language of the end user, you know. But on the other hand, if the client is a software developer, because I don't know, you create something that the developers use in their development framework, then you need to understand the language of the developer, of your end user, and you might need to be a developer or to learn how to code, because otherwise you don't understand the need. It's difficult for you to understand the need. But this, you sense it's so nice. So between accounting, your end user, accountant, and developer, it's a huge space. And what is interesting, you can be today a BA for a product for accounting, and in 3 years or next year, or I don't know, you can dive into a project where your end user is a developer. So does it mean you can't do it? No, you can do it. Just, of course, you need to adjust your learning. Yeah.
Yes. So it's in the end to when because this is a good question, right? How do you know what to learn, right? As a BA, what do you? Because this is the question, right? We started this one, right? You as a BA for a mobile development that develops a mobile application, right? A team that develops a mobile application. Do you need to learn mobile technologies? And this is the starting question, right? And now is how do you know as a business analyst what to learn?
Okay, so I would split this question or the answer into two. As a BA, you need to have some basic knowledge, which is not necessarily technical, is more like how you structure information. So for example, before diving into any project, I would say you need to know how to use diagrams like activity diagrams, state diagrams, the business process modeling, because you have processes all over. Data modeling, it's good to understand it, even from the beginning. Visual prototyping, these are things that I consider they are basic. Okay, after you learn that, now depending on the project where you land, or the area, the domain where you land to work as a business analyst, then you need to find out what else do you need to learn so that you are successful. So you might need to learn how to define user journeys, because this is the area where you work and you need to learn. Now, of course, if you have UX people in the team, you may not need to do that, but it's good to get to the same language. Then, as said earlier, if the product I work for and the company sells APIs, so it's something you don't see, you just other systems use. Then you need to understand what an API is. You need some basic understanding, but you don't need to know how to build them, because you have architects, you have people who are specialized and they have a lot of years who have worked with this kind of things, and they know how to shape them. But as a BA, I need to understand how it looks like, how I can use an API, how I can create a flow with that. So, but again, I would call it basic.
This comes to actually coping with the business domain, right? What is your actually what your project product does, right? What is the end users, right? Because we are coming back to, if your end user is a business person, then you need to learn the business language, right? To have a conversation with that person. And I think it's more important to have the business conversation, right? The conversation with the business person to find out what actually they want and what they want to build, right? Rather than being the techie, learning the language of the developer. And the second is like API seems like very technical, right? This is the end user seems like not a business person per se, but somebody that is more like in the development space rather than in the business space. Right.
Yeah. So I would advocate that as a BA, you still need to have some technical understanding. It's just very important how much. Of course, the business drive to understand the business need is important, but yeah, I don't say you don't need to understand the technical part, but you don't need to be a developer.
Got it. This is an interesting topic, and some of the questions are in regards to, so we don't have Andra today with us, so one of them perhaps we can also make a follow-up to this session today, as some of the question is like, in my mind, is like, how come a BA still needs this, right? We kind of touch it, right? There is this need to develop, to speak the language of the developers, right? But also I think it's more than that. Somewhere in there is more than just speaking the language of the developers. And I'm wondering if this, because in a way, what I'm sensing in a way is like, when you are in a team, right? And we said like, is this gap of communication, both of the parties try to meet in the middle, right? Oh, I understand you are not a programmer or a software developer. You don't speak my language, right? So I'm trying to come closer to you. You do the same, right? Trying to, but so this is the question, how much flexibility? So this is the question that I'm thinking, right? How much flexibility is in the team? What else is signaling the fact that the analyst wants to learn technical parts, right? So this is a question that I don't know if we have the answer. Do you have like, can you speculate?
I can speculate, yeah. Here we enter the area of how the team works and the communication in the team, and for example, how the BA position themselves inside the team. Are they the driver? Are they part of the team where I don't know, maybe the architect says we need to do this and this and that, and the BA is just a follower? Or is the BA, because they don't understand and because they don't ask for clarification, they feel left out? So, or they feel out of control because if the solution is built without them, then okay, where am I? What is going on? What am I going to get? And can be in this area. So you're right here. It's not only about knowledge, technical knowledge, including the business knowledge, so accounting in general, but it's also about the relationship between people in the team and how we manage to express our needs. So, for example, if a developer speaks only very technical, uses very technical concepts and language, and I don't understand anything, I would ask, or make a picture for me, or even so, a developer starts to speak a lot about something that they actually see with their mind, you know, and then they want the client or myself to understand, okay, if you speak too much, make a drawing, make it simple, so that I understand easier what you're telling me. I mean, it's an effort not only from myself to make myself understood, but it should be an effort from the development team and the architect to make themselves understood, and not keep it like I'm sitting over on a black box. You don't need to know what's in there. There are some principles that work in there that every person should understand. So yeah, very important what you raised.
So I would assert this is also an invitation for the BAs, right, that are trying to learn technical things, to question, right? I heard you right, question, why do I really need this, right? Because is it something that is valuable for me, or is it, why am I doing this, right? Question, is it moving me forward? What is the reason why I'm doing it? And also to kind of be present to your grounds, right? What am I as a BA supposed to do, rather than trying to learn something and then figuring out what is your need, right? So yeah, so I don't know if I don't have a question here. I think it's more like it's an invitation.
We lost Mario.
Invitation for the others to kind of consider what they actually. Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can.
Christina?
Yes.
Okay, so I will. Sorry for this. So the invitation is more for people to be present to why they are doing things, right? Why do I need to learn, and to look at other areas where perhaps they don't see it, right? So perhaps some coaching will help them to see what they cannot see, right? To discover what they cannot see. Yes, so the final question is, so in the end, is it the BA a techie person, to give the verdict, Christina? And with that, we conclude our...
Okay. I would say it's in the middle. So it's not a techie, but also not very strange to technological language. Yeah, it's in the middle.
Right. All right. So thank you for the conversation today. And for you watching us, what do you think? Is it the BA a technical person, a techie? Is it in your team, the BA a techie person? So let us know. And let us know what you think about the conversation today. And don't forget to subscribe and to like our video to be up to date with what we are doing. So until next time, Christina, thank you.
Bye.
And
Thank you
see you
very much
next
as
week.
well.
Thank
See
you.
you.
See you next week. Bye.